What's up? It's been 5 years since I've had my Civic, and surprisingly, I should have done this a long time ago, but never really crossed my mind. I'm going to do my top 5 mods for the 9th gen Civic, more importantly, the SI version. I'm not going to say these in any particular order. This is just my top 5. So here we go. First one is suspension. And this could really go 2 ways. Me personally, I've had both lowering springs and I've had coilovers. I've had 2 types of coilovers. So I had, when I first bought the car, I bought H&R springs, the Super Sports. And I did 1 track day and blew out the stock suspension completely, to the point that the stock dampers and everything were like leaking fluid, leaking oil, and I would just drive around town clunking on really bad suspension. Get away with those. Obviously, coilovers are where you're going to get the most performance. I ran some Yellow Speed Racing coilovers for about 2.5, 3 years. They were great. They were great for daily driving, which, at the time before I got my other Civic, I would daily into SI all the time. They were great as a daily. Not so much on the track. They weren't really valved and spring for the track. And when you're out there, like on the rumble strips, over time, it's not going to be ideal. So last year, I went ahead and made the upgrade to a 2-way K-tune setup, and I also went to a true coilover in the rear instead of the divorce setup that comes with the car. Right off the bat, I did a test day after I did the install. Fantastic. And then once grid life came around, car gave me a lot of rotation, which is what I was wanting. The current setup for the car is like a 14K front and 12K rear with a progressive dampening system, which is great for if you're driving your car to the track and you're still maybe daily drive it here and there. I think the springs could be stiffer to induce a little bit more rotation in the rear. I think we'll see how this year goes, if I want to upgrade or not, but coilovers are the way to go. And if you pair it with a big rear sway bar, like for me, I have the Progress 24mm rear sway bar. To my knowledge, it is the biggest rear sway bar you can run on the 9th gen. I have mine on the full stiff, and it's been on full stiff since I put it on. I've never changed it whatsoever. For the suspension, I have the K-Tune roll center adjustment ball joints on the car, and it just transforms every part of the front suspension. Makes the axles sit at the right position. Right now the car feels fantastic. So suspension is a big one. Number 2 is, I'm gonna put 2 things as the number 2, but I'll just leave it as one thing. So wheels and tires. I have run just about every setup that you can think of that makes sense for the car. So when I first started out, I did a square setup. So I had a 255/40 tire setup, front to rear, and then I had a 17x9 plus 40 front to rear. It was good for street driving, not necessarily good for track. You kind of want that rotation, so you want to run a reverse stacking setup. So up front right now, and for the last 3 years, I've been running a 17x9, either plus 40 or plus 20. It really depends on whether or not I'm running the front 20mm spacer, which for the most part, I haven't taken that spacer off. And it's only because I couldn't fit the specs that I had with the RT660 tires because they run a little wider. It's usually like 10 millimeters wider than true size. But got this 17 by 9 plus 40 plus 20 up front, and then in the rear I'm running a 17 by 8 plus 40, no spacer. Tire size up front it depends on the tire, or it depends on the setup. I've run 255 40s. I also run 245 40s. On the 9-inch wide wheel, 245s felt fantastic. It actually handled a lot better than the 255s, and that little bit of stretch helped a lot. On the back, I'm running a 225 45, and I've been running that for the last 3 years. Zero issues. That actually helps induce a little rotation in the rear, and that's what you want. So, the only downside to running a reverse staggered setup is things kind of get expensive. If you have a flat, you're kind of screwed. If you need to rotate tires, you're kind of screwed. But if it means faster lap time, I'll take it. Deal with the issues if I run into it. Number 3 is a short shifter. I have run hybrid racing and I run K-tuned, and they both are very different. Granted, they are both short shifters, but each one feels different. Hybrid racing one is very notchy, and the K-tuned one is very stock-like, but with the short throw. I'm sure you could set up the K-tune to make it more notchy, but as I think I had the hybrid for like 2 years, and over time, it would get harder and harder to find 6 gear and I think reverse. I don't know. I just was having issues trying to find both of those gears. And then when I moved to the K-tune one, I didn't have any issues. Both are good. I've never had the Acuity. Acuity could be just as good as those other two. I think Buddy Club makes a short shifter as well. If you do the short shifter, make sure you get all the bushings that come with it, like new bushings, new hardware. I would also do a cable upgrade, do the hybrid racing cables, because I don't think K-tuned offers racing cables for this platform just yet. I think they only offer it for the RSX and Integra stuff, or a lot of like K-swapped chassis. You K-swap your Integra, you K-swap your EK, EG, whatever. I think they offer racing cables for those. But as far as the 9th gen itself, I think hybrid racing is the only one that offers racing cables. When I had my hybrid racing short shifter, I did the anodized red. If you run the anodized red without a boot, it's going to sun fade, especially if it's in the sun all the time. You live in a place where it's always sunny. That anodized red is going to fade really quick, and it's just going to look really dull after like 2 years. 2 years is a long time, but when I went to go sell mine and replace it with the K-tune one, that was one of the biggest gripes with a lot of people that were interested in the hybrid, is that it was sun faded. So if you run just like the black, you should be fine, whether you run a boot or not. I like the way the shifters look without the boot, so personal preference, but it looks pretty sick. And having all that hardware and stuff exposed, 1, makes it easier to work on, and 2, it looks cooler. So with the K-tune one, they only make it in billet aluminum, easier to clean, doesn't sun fade. It might scratch a little easier, but at the end of the day, is whatever. It's a wear part, right? I think at some point I would like to get rid of the billet, not because it doesn't look good, because it really does. but I've seen Sean McNeil, who works for K-Tuned. He did some custom powder coating on his short shifter and his 8th gen. It looks pretty sick. So I think that would just offer a custom touch that nobody else does. So 4 would be HONDATA. I waited a long time to get before I got HONDATA. In fact, I waited almost 3 years before I did any kind of performance upgrade to the car because I wanted to learn with the stock power, make sure I could handle the car at its current power and just learn and keep everything reliable, right? Because, as soon as you start adding power, any engine mods, things can go south pretty quick. But I got HONDATA. I did not get it new. I got it used for a really good deal. They're out there. I don't know what they're worth now, but I'm sure you could find them between $300 and $500 used. I think they go for like $700 or $800 new now. But they're out there. You can find them. I've been trying to learn HONDATA, how to tune and stuff myself, and it's not for me. So I just give it to my buddy Zach, and he tunes the car. He's been doing this for a lot longer than I have, and he has more patience than I do. So HONDATA is also going to come in handy for whenever I decide to go E85, which is probably going to be this year. I have the injectors and I have the fuel pump for it. I just need the flex fuel kit. And HONDATA, aside from a standalone like a Link or a Haltech or whatever, HONDATA is the only one that offers E85 tuning. I think K-Tuner does not have that ability. And then last but not least, we are going to go with brakes. A lot of you guys like to do like the big brake Brembo kit, and I honestly think you don't need it. I think it's a waste of money. It's just for looks, because most people don't track their 9th gens, let alone do any autocross or anything. It's mostly just a street build. I think your stock brakes are more than capable of doing whatever you have to do on the street. In fact, I would love a big brake kit at some point, but I've just been running better pads, better fluid. I don't even have stainless steel lines in. I'm still on the stock lines. And then I've tried different types of rotors, and blank rotors are the best ones to go with. My setup over the years has been mostly Hawk pads. I did Hawk HPS's, then I went to HP Pluses, and now I'm running their DTC 60s and 30s. So I have 60s up front, 30s in the rear. In the past, I've done HP Plus in the front, HPS in the rear, DTC 60 up front, HP Plus in the rear, and now, like I said, I'm on the 60s up front and the 30s in the rear, and it's been phenomenal. I run the ATE Type 200 .4 brake fluid. Never had an issue. In fact, I have only ever changed my brake fluid twice since I've owned the car. I had a little bit of a scare at the Dragon this past October, where I probably should have changed my brake fluid. I kind of ran out on the Dragon, and I got a warning on the dash that says low brake fluid, and that's the last thing you want on the Dragon. I think I'm going to go with a different brake fluid this year right now. I think I'm going to make the change to the Motul stuff because it's more readily available. It's actually a little cheaper too. And as far as rotors, I'm just running blanks. I've run Stop Techs before, the Stop Tech slotted ones, and it's stupid how expensive those things are. I've also run a different set of rotors. They were called Wave Specs. How do I explain this? It looked like a motorcycle, or even like a bike brake. It had like, how do you explain this? I'll just show a picture of it. It looked like this. And so I ran that on the car, on the front and on the rear. The fronts were slotted, the rears were not. They were blanks. Honestly, I had zero issues with it, and I honestly think they ran a little bit cooler than the OEM blanks that you can get. But they were a little on the expensive side compared to blanks, but they were a lot cheaper than the Stop Techs for the front that I got. In fact, the Stop Techs came to around $400 after shipping, just for the fronts. After I cracked those at VIR, I replaced them with a full set of brand new Akibonos from Rock Auto, and I think I spent $400 for all four. So blanks are the way to go. You don't need slotted, you don't need drilled, you don't need all these fancy R1 concept bullcrap. You don't need any of that stuff. Save your money, get the stuff that is more obtainable and easier to find, right? You can buy blanks anywhere, and they're usually pretty cheap. Centric, Akibono, some stuff on Rock Auto. A lot of stuff I get from Rock Auto because it's cheap. I think that's about it. I think those are my top 5 mods. Like I said, super easy. I think everything that I listed will make it'll transform your car. It'll make your daily driver a lot more fun to drive, more engaging. And if you want to track your car, it's a good starting point. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.